IMF says imposing steel and aluminum rates plan would hurt the U.S. McDonald's stock plunges to its worst decline in a decade. UNICEF publishes damning report on human trafficking, and acclaimed Mexican chef Rosio Sanchez conquers Copenhagen. Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm Joseph Garza. Let's go down to the information. The International Monetary Fund has joined criticism of Donald Trump's plan to impose a 25% rate on steel imports and 10% on aluminum. American businesses, farmers, and ranchers are especially worried about Trump's plan to impose punitive tariffs on imports of steel, and because countries that export those metals to the U.S. will almost certainly retaliate against them. The Prime Minister of Canada slammed the rates as absolutely unacceptable. Canada is the largest supplier of steel to the U.S., and Justin Trudeau rallied that these tariffs would cause disruption on both sides of the border. Mexico, China, Japan, and Brazil also say they are considering retaliatory steps. President Trump was expected to announce the tariffs last Thursday, but backed off, apparently out of deference to Liu He, Chinese President Xi Jinping's top economic advisor. Liu arrived in Washington on Thursday to try to persuade administrative officials to back down. Trump said he would wait until next week to announce the rates, which he dropped to the White House press corps would be 25% on steel and 10% on aluminum. China is not even among the top 10 sources of imported steel, but it is the third largest importer of U.S. goods and services. And that's what has U.S. exporting industries worried. Many U.S. companies also expressed alarm, including beer brewers, which use aluminum for canned beverages. Anheuser-Busch InBev, the world's largest beer maker, warned that Mr. Trump's plan was going to put jobs at risk and would be against the U.S. consumer. In other news, shares of McDonald's tumbled nearly 5% in the stock market's biggest one-day slide in a decade after an RBC analyst slammed its highly hyped value menu as a flop. The fast food chain shares plunged 4.8%, making it the worst performer in the Dow on Friday. The drop came after RBC Capital Markets analysts claimed that McDonald's new $1, $2, and $3 menu, which rolled out in January, failed to resonate with customers. And that's not the only thing causing stomach pains. Research amongst consumers reveals that the dollar menu is showing its age and lacks the hero item, with the latest items failing to connect with consumers. The same analysts added that they believed the menu's position as a variety option lacked necessary pizzazz to resonate with value-conscious consumers. McDonald's early signaling of its value menu initiative back in October 2017 gave their rivals 2 months to come up with a flurry of competitor responses and diminish the promotion's overall impact, the analysts added. The fast food chain had killed its original dollar menu in 2013 and replaced it with a higher-priced value menu. Executives later acknowledged that the move alienated many customers. The $1, $2, $3 menu offers items including the sausage burrito, McChicken, cheeseburger, and soft drinks of all sizes for just $1. Moving on, human trafficking is big business. Every day, men, women, and children around the world are trapped and tricked into commercial sexual exploitation and forced labor. The trafficking and labor exploitation of children generates an estimated $39 billion a year globally, robbing its victims of their health, their education, and, well, their future. Even those lucky enough to escape remain at risk. For survivors of sexual trafficking, the shame and isolation that follow can be devastating. In many cultures, any association with the sex industry, whether by force or by choice, is highly stigmatized. Fear of shame and isolation keeps many sex trafficking survivors from seeking help and can expose them to further abuse. Easily identified by traffickers, these at-risk young people may find themselves denied access to resources and safe employment. They are also socially isolated by the creation of a narrative that they are unwelcome. UNICEF and the International Organization on Migration recently conducted research on the exploitation and trafficking of children traveling from Africa and the Middle East to Europe. Among these children on the move, those traveling from sub-Saharan Africa were 4 times more likely to experience trafficking than their peers traveling along the same route. What separated these children from their peers? One major factor, the color of their skin. Harmful gender norms make countless girls susceptible to trafficking. According to the International Labor Organization, approximately 70% of the estimated 40.3 million people subjected to modern slavery, which includes trafficking and forced marriage, are women and girls. UNICEF says that working with stakeholders at all levels is critical in order to build societies in which trafficking cannot thrive in the first place. In other news, at 33 years of age, Mexican chef Rosio Sanchez has taken the Scandinavian capital of Copenhagen by storm with some of the most interesting modern Mexican meals in Europe. Her third restaurant, which bears her surname, has only been open to Copenhagen's dining public since December 2017, but she already has another hit on her hands. Her homemade tortillas and a concise menu of tacos, quesadillas, and desserts offers a change of pace in a city better known for its higher-end offerings and not exactly known for Mexican cooking. Locals arrive hungry at the historic red light district of the city to sample mole and versions of classics such as fried cod skin with mussel sauce. On her way to conquering Europe, she spent 5 years with chef René Redzepi and became the pastry chef at Noma, the 4-time top restaurant on the list of the 50 best restaurants in the world. The food is refined and inventive, which reflects Sanchez's experience in modern kitchens. She uses products imported from Mexico and local ingredients such as high-quality Danish cheeses and gooseberry. One of her signature dishes is Danish potatoes with a shepherd sauce that is usually served in tacos. Sanchez is receiving accolades and good feedback, including a lot of love for her desserts. Regulars to her new establishment say that they feel like it's been open for years. Sanchez is not a cheap eatery either. 2 of the tacos of the day with hand-pressed tortillas cost 100 crowns, about 320 pesos, and a selection of 5 dishes chosen by the kitchen, such as oysters, panucho, tomato soup with grasshoppers, and dirty carnitas, go for 1,080 pesos. And finally, let's turn to the markets. The Mexican peso increased 0.42% to 18.8736 from 18.7940 in the previous trading session. On the other hand, the IPC Mexico decreased 0.11% to 47,548 from 47,599 in the previous trading session. This was all for today. Thank you again for staying with us. I'm your host, Joseph Garza. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.